So, what's up, guys? I hope you have a great day. It's actually the first time that I try to go live from the internet of my iPhone, from mobile data and not my Wi-Fi. And because my Wi-Fi, I just tried it a while ago and it's kind of bad. Anyway, hope you missed me. We're back in with the market open live streams. We're gonna check on crypto. We're gonna check. I just adjusted my screen, by the way, so stay here. We're gonna check on crypto, what's up. We're gonna check on stocks because we're about to open in like 30 minutes. So stay around. We're gonna have fun. Now we're starting the week kind of good for Bitcoin. It looks like we're approaching 1 trillion market cap again, which is very positive for the crypto market. We are above the 51k level for Bitcoin, which is bullish too. When things will start turning even more bullish is when we pass above 53, 54k. Then things will start exploding higher. Then things will start getting really good. I hope it's working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Let me go check here as well. Nice, we have one viewer too. So we are at 51.4k right now for Bitcoin. Very happy. It looks like when Bitcoin is green like that, the last couple of weeks, its correlation with the stock market is very high. So we might be expecting, we might having on our hands a very green week ahead of us. Let's see. Usually, those last weeks of the year are kind of low volume weeks. And then on the first of the next year, on the start of the next year, we see higher volume weeks coming back. But anyway, we're having fun here. We're enjoying it. Things are looking green, so there's nothing bad about it. We have Ethereum at 4.1k, trying to reclaim these past all-time highs that it has of 4.4k and 4.8k, I think. For Ethereum, we have $550 for BNB here. Solana at $200. ADA making some big moves lately. It came back at the levels that it was, the levels that it held easily a while back. It went all the way from $1.20 all the way to 156, 157 where it's staying right now. That's kind of nice. That's never bad for ADA. I still hold my Cardano. I haven't sold one. I haven't sold any, so that's good. But I didn't buy more. I was expecting Cardano to drop even more to buy. It got as low as 120, but I want to buy it 105, $1 per ADA. Which, to be honest, it would happen if Bitcoin dropped at 40k, 42k. It would definitely happen easily. We would easily see a $1 Cardano again. Then I would buy some. Not gonna lie. But at 115 and 120, nah. I'm not that big fan of Cardano anyway. Let me adjust here my... oh no, that's not it. My settings, so we have the privacy mode on. That's good. So that's for the crypto market right now. Let's go ahead and check first the indexes, what's going on, how they're looking, and then let's go to CNBC, maybe read some articles or see whatever is up. So for the indexes, we have S&P 0.3% up. We have Dow being negative pre-market, but now it looks kind of positive at the end, 0.2% up. And we have Nasdaq at 0.5% up. Apple looks positive pre-market and probably carrying the wall. Basically, the whole Nasdaq index along with it. Anyway, let me check if the live is working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Nice. For retail predictions, let's check the headlines on Yahoo Finance. Starboard buy stake worth 800 million in GoDaddy, whatever. Yeah, usually they're not that interesting. Let's go to CNBC. So, UK PM Boris Johnson to assess latest Omicron data before deciding on new COVID curbs. We still have headlines about COVID. China is clarifying rules for overseas IPOs. Here's what we still don't know. Fauci says COVID cases will go much higher as Omicron spread continues. Yeah, whatever. Remove limits on foreign investment in passenger car manufacturing. So that's bullish news for NIO, it looks like. Passenger car manufacturing. Okay. France sees over 100,000 daily virus infections for the first time. Okay, so we don't have any big news on CNBC. So we might as well just leave CNBC. Let's check. Europe has opened green. That's good. US, where is US? Let's see. US is still pre-market, so this hasn't updated. Let's check gold. Gold is flat, absolutely flat. Silver is flat as well, kind of higher than what it was the last couple of weeks. but it's still flat for the day. Natural gas up 4%, oil down 0.3%. Okay, and we have US here, S&P at 0.6. Yeah, that's not updated. So after reading that, look at that. That was how bad the Wi-Fi that we had here was. Extremely bad. Look at it, it's awful actually. It's supposed to be 24 megabps, and it's actually 9. They are stealing the people so much. And the upload rate is 0.3. I couldn't use that to live stream, and now I'm using my mobile data to live stream. It's insane. Anyway, let's go to. I hope you can hear me, by the way. Besides that, because I have my mic kinda away from me. Besides that, let's go to where do I want to go? To Barron's, right? I love reading articles on Barron's. So we have a ton of articles here, but let's open to see what the new ones are about. Omicron will hurt the economy. Why the pain will last? I'm done reading any news about about COVID or Omicron, whatever. I don't care. S&P set for another record as Wall Street begins last week of 2021. That's nice. It's even nice reading that headline. United, Delta, and other travel stocks fall on COVID cancellations. Cheap stocks are getting pricey. Here are a few that still look cheap. I'm actually a very big fan of semiconductor companies and chip companies. Nvidia, AMD, Intel, TSMC. I'm bullish. ASML. I'm bullish on all these companies. And what I decided to do, instead of trying to hold the one winner out of all these basically cheap stocks, I actually doubled down on an ETF, on a semiconductor ETF, and that's one. I think that's one good decision from me. What to watch this week: manufacturing numbers, home prices, and more. Bridge Bio stock. Microsoft is latest tech giant to pull out of CES. I don't know what that is. We'll read about it. GameStop is very early in its transformation. Its stock could double. Commentary: a new supply chain crisis building. Okay. Barron's top 10 stock picks. First instance is about. Okay, we have read this news. So there is nothing else that interesting here. With 3 potential pitfalls investors face in the new year. Let's check that. Let's check that later too. That's a video. Here are the 10 must-read retirement stories. Holiday retail sales. News Corp. So we don't have anything interesting. The market is about to open in 6 minutes. So let's try to read this story for today, which has to do with the S&P and the bull market for today. Stock futures rose modestly. And the S&P was poised for another record high as investors prepared for the last trading week of 2021 by assessing what threat the spread of the Omicron variant might have on the global economy. Stocks finished Thursday with gains, with the S&P rising 0.6%, closing a new record. All 3 major stock indexes finished the holiday shortened week solidly higher. Markets were closed Friday for the Christmas holiday. Asian stocks closed mixed Monday. In the United States, the spread of the Omicron variant of COVID-19 has pushed daily virus cases ahead of those fueled by the Delta variant over the summer, according to CNN. Airlines cancelled thousands of flights over the Christmas weekend and delayed countless others, as COVID spikes created staffing shortages. Bloomberg reported that new cases of coronavirus in New York State surged to an all-time high on Christmas Eve. Okay, Kinda boring here, nothing interesting. Moderna stock poised for 5th straight day of losses. I'm happy for that. Cheap stocks are getting pricey. Here are a few that still look cheap. Let's see. Nvidia, the best performer year to date in the semiconductor index or SOX, has returned roughly 130% this year. It now traded 58 times estimated 2022 earnings. That's pricey, even to the stock's bulls. Bernstein analyst Stacy conceded earlier this month that the stock appears expensive on a price-to-earnings basis, but he told Barron's he still recommends the shares because in tech a high PE ratio isn't necessarily a reason to sell the stock. For Nvidia, this analyst sees strong catalysts and a stronger narrative unfolding as the company continues to monetize and expand its software offerings while benefiting from growing metaverse interest and investment. Let me check if the live is working. Yeah, the live is working. On the other side of the equation, a low PE ratio isn't a reason to buy a stock, but it's often a good place to start a search. And there are a few bargains in the semiconductor sector. That's why Barron's screened for the 13 cheapest stocks in the SOX index based on price to estimated 22 earnings. Okay. So that means that screened for the 13 cheapest stocks. Okay, they're about to tell us the 13 cheapest stocks. So what we have here. Tips. Okay, these are the cheapest stocks in the semiconductor sector index based on price to estimated 2022 earnings. Let's see, we have Micron here at a forward P of 8. We have Intel at a forward P of 14. So Intel, many people are bullish on Intel. I love the company. Make no mistake. I absolutely love Intel and the company. This PC actually runs on an i7 basically processor from Intel, and I have been using Intel's processors for so long, ever since I was a kid, and I had a PC. I'm a big fan, but if you check the historical P, it usually trades for 8 to 10, like 7 to 10, 5 to 10 to 10. Now 14 is kind of, you can say that it's kind of high. It's kind of high for Intel. That's for the end of the day. We have Skyworks Solutions 12. We have Corvo at 11. Amcor Technology, first time I hear about the company. We have Amcor at 9. And we can also see that here Skyworks had a year-to-date total return of 2. Intel 6.3. Qualcomm 22% year-to-date. And has a forward period of 16. Microchip 17. Okay, there are so many cheap stocks. Look at that. Cheap semiconductor stocks. Memory chip firm Micron Technology (MU) is the cheapest firm stock in the pack, trading at 8.2 times forward earnings. Earlier this week, the firm reported strong results and released a better than expected forecast for the current forecast. The stock has returned 26% so far this year. Chip product packaging and test services provider Amcor Technology is second, trading at 9.3 times 2022 earnings estimates. The mid-cap chip stock has returned 55% in 2021. Corvo and Skyworks Solutions, both suppliers for Apple, traded 11 and 12 times forward earnings, respectively. Both stocks have lagged behind their peers, down 8% and up 2.2% this year, respectively. The fifth cheapest stocks in the bunch is Intel. Oh, so it's from cheapest to... Okay, it's from the cheapest one to the most expensive one. Why is Clark on 20 forward P though? What is... All these companies, those three ones, and Applied Materials, NXP, Lam Research, CLA, I don't even know this. I don't know why they are so high. Okay, let's check about Intel, what they said. This analyst says is a good example of a cheap but not necessarily attractive stock. I agree. Raxon said CEO Paul Gelsinger isn't necessarily doing the wrong thing, investing billions in turnaround efforts, but he's bearish on the stock overall. He's trying to fix 10 years of sin, Raxon said. There are problems that didn't just show up last quarter. They have been building for 10 years, and it's going to take 5 to 10 years to fix it. He's showing the willingness to blow up the model to fix it. And I admire that on Pat Gelsinger, but I'm still not sure if I'm willing to bet my money on a company that's willing to do such big of a comeback, and whether it can do such big of a comeback. Some of Rascon's other picks, these analysts' other picks, are like Qualcomm and Broadcom, as well as semiconductor manufacturing equipment, Applied Materials, AMAT, and Lam Research, LRCX, also made the cut for our screen. No one quite knows when the chip shortage will abate. Sorry, but we do know there are plenty of chip stocks that will benefit from a continued shortage in 2022. Okay, let's check this story about Microsoft. It's very small, very short, and from there we'll go to check the prices that the stocks have opened, 1, and then 2, we'll go and check the headlines on CoinDesk. So we read some crypto news as well. So now let's start with Microsoft. Microsoft joins other tech giants in cancelling in-person presence at CES. What is that? Company is the latest company to cancel in-person participation in the new annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Over concerns. Okay, nothing that interesting for the stock. The tech giant joins a growing list of companies such as Twitter, FB, Meta Platforms, Amazon, Pinterest, that said they won't be attending the annual ACS Technology Conference, citing rising COVID. That's sad. The health and well-being of our employees, yeah, whatever. So nothing interesting here. Let's close this story. We will watch this video after. And let's go ahead and see what's up on trading. So, I have some auto invest here for every day, mainly on MicroStrategy, but now that I saw that it's higher than ever, I kinda don't want to DCA into it. So I want to cancel this. Nice. Besides that, let's go. Whoo, we have Google opening green. Nice, nice. I like that. We're approaching, is a 2 trillion market cap for Google? Let me check real quick. We're approaching 2 trillion. I have a good position on Google. I absolutely love Google and Google's products. The only fear factor, basically, one thing I like doing is investing in companies I actually use every day. Google, of course, is one of them. I have my subscription for Google Workspace from my web. It helps with my website. It helps with some analytics. It helps with my YouTube channel. I have both this channel and another one, a Greek small channel that is actually getting paid from AdSense and from ads. So I have been way into YouTube and Google for so long. I have been using YouTube for so long. I have been using Google's products for so long. I cannot not be bullish. I'm not bullish enough, basically, for this company. But on the other hand, a fear factor that I have lately when it comes to Google is the fact that we have, on the other hand, companies like TikTok. TikTok is trying to rise, man. It's very, how is it called? Like addicting. It's addicting. It's nice. It has the music. It's good in many different ways, and I think it's a fear factor for Google as well. That's why they started the YouTube Shorts at the end of the day. That's why they started it, because they fear losing basically market share. Anyway, we have Microsoft at 337, Google open green as we said, 0.7% up, Apple 0.9% up. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Tesla approaching 1,100. That's nice from Tesla. Give me a minute. No. Let's check. Let me open my stocks on iPad. We have Bitcoin at 51.3k. I think we will follow the market slowly but surely here. Let's see how it plays out. Costco 555, still overvalued. We have MicroStrategy starting to rise finally again. Thank God. We have Meta Platforms 343 rising as well. Nvidia rising. Everything is looking green, man, all across the board. The only stock that's always down is Alibaba, but it looks like it's kind of green today, 1.3%. The sad thing is that I actually closed the other time those all the tabs that are opened here, and now I lost the technical analysis that I did to them. That's sad. I didn't know that happens. Doesn't it save or what? Anyway, we have Tesla at 1,100. Let's check the stocks more. We have Netflix CRC 114, AMD 148, rising with Nvidia, Intel above $51 too. Interesting for Intel. 193 for PayPal, 119 for Alibaba. Amazon 300 for $3,438 per share. We have Etsy at 230, climbing from some lows that it had around 210. That's nice. That's a 10% move already from the bottom. Is it a 10% move? Yeah, you can, a 9% move, let's say. Affirm 106, also rising from the depths of hell that it went through. Enphase 191. I think this one is the most still beaten down among all those ones. Visa also rising. So we see a kind of U-turn on every stock. Look at that. We see a big U-turn. Basically, a kind of V-shaped recovery trying to form here for most of stocks. And also you can see a bottom. You can notice a bottom on many of those stocks. When you check them on a long enough time frame. Robinhood opening red somehow. That's interesting. Okay. Let's check Russell. Russell is 0.9% up. Is that updated? I'm not sure. We'll see later during this trading day. Interesting that Robinhood is opening red. I didn't expect that. We have Honest at $8.10. We have SoFi at 15.13. Okay, trying to rise. Trader Chef also beaten down again today. That's interesting. I expected those stocks to move along with the market. Let's check what Google is doing again. Staying flat at what it opened there and where it opens. Okay. We have Pepsi at 170. I like Pepsi. We have a PepsiCo. We have Mondelez at 65. Let's see. It will be interesting to see whether Mondelez tries to reclaim those highs, 65.7, and go higher, or whether it will drop back down to this support line down here at 58. That will be interesting to see. We have Nestle here, okay. Kellogg's, it's stuck always. Let's close Kellogg. What else should we close? Planet, Tarot Chef, SoFi. Oh my god, my trading analysis deleted on everything, man. That's sad. That's sad because I have to withdraw it. Let's see here. What do I have here? Physical gold. Is that it? Physical gold. Physical gold. Physical silver. Yeah, all those things are flat. Let's check the ETFs. My ETF. This is the ETF that I'm actually investing in. This Vanek Vector Semiconductor ETF. Let me redraw some lines here. I had one here. I think at 20 and even lower. Let's put one here. 24 points. Actually, let's just draw it like this. That worked as a resistance here. It also acts as a resistance now, live. Let's see how it plays out. Even if it's not here, might be here, right? At 26.5. Let's actually leave it here for 26.5 for now. So that's good for my ETF. What else do I have here? Let's see. I want to cancel this for the Bitcoin exposure for MicroStrategy, which I usually invest in. So the stocks that I hold right now is Apple, Google, Alibaba, Robinhood, MicroStrategy, and the ETF that I like, the semiconductor ETF. It's kind of minimalistic, but I like that. I prefer that instead of holding 10 companies, like 20 to 50 companies and trying to track them all at once. I think that's impossible for most people. So I actually prefer to just hold less than 10 stocks at a time. Let's check if my live is working. If my live is working here. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Nice. Besides that, let's go on CoinDesk and check the stories here too. What blockchain projects can do for social good? We don't care now. So we see kind of a slow day. It opened green, but we see a slow day here. 0.7% up for Nasdaq, 0.5% up for S&P, 0.9 Russell hasn't opened yet. Google is up 0.8% to 2,961. Nvidia passed above 300. Interesting. Decentraland luxury marketplace. Okay. India ruling party aligned group takes stance on crypto regulation. Cardano Polkadot jump as Bitcoin holds above 50k. So we see kind of a slow day as expected, where usually we see low volumes on the last weeks of the year, and then higher volumes start with a new year. So we're going to wait, we're going to stay around and see what happens over the next couple of days. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson lays out 2022 plans. That will be interesting for Cardano. Usually what this guy says matters. Binance gains for Cardano at least. Binance gains Bahrain approval to become crypto asset service provider. Registers in Canada. I love Binance, man, one of my favorite exchanges. And by the way, if you want to start investing into crypto, definitely check my link down there on the description below, so you can actually have smaller and less trading fees when you buy and sell your crypto. First mover Asia, why portfolio managers will need to look at altcoins in 2022. Turkey President Erdogan to send crypto law to parliament. Report. What is that law about though? Planning for a better breed of Doge. Okay, nothing interesting here. Actually, there was another story. Was that it? Market brief. Let's watch this video again, right? Let's watch this video.
Welcome to your market brief for the week of December 27th. This week, we're getting you ready for the new year by highlighting a few potential challenges investors should be aware of. Joining me to discuss is Barron's reporter Carlton English. Welcome, Carlton. So good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Carlton, a hawkish Fed that has laid as many as 3 rate hikes on the table for next year should be a positive for banks, but you say there's a challenging path ahead. Why?
Sure. So when you look at the banking sector, the banks are in a strong position. So I'm not too worried about them. But yes, rate hikes are good for banks. That look at the banking sector, the banks are in a strong position. So I'm not too worried about them. But yes, rate hikes are good for banks. That helps them to boost their net interest income. But when rates are higher, that also means that getting M&A deals, which means the underwriting fees that banks are going to pay, are going to be potentially lower because doing M&A deals is going to be less attractive. Also,
So what this woman says here is actually that the raising of the interest rates rates, the rise of the interest rates, it's actually a good thing for bank stocks like JP Morgan, like let's say Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, all those stocks, which I'm not a big fan of, just so you know, of the banks. I actually feel like they are outdated a bit now. We have also the crypto market in general, and everyone becomes his own bank. Has become his own bank. It became his own bank. So I think those stocks on the coming years might lose some of the market share that they have. Actually, that's one thing I believe. Anyway, besides that, let's see. And she says that's actually the rise of interest rates is actually a good thing for banks, but the bad thing is that they get less underwriting fees. Let's see. Let's hear that again.
Underwriting fees that banks are going to face are going to be potentially lower because doing M&A deals is going to be less attractive. Also, we do have an administration that is a little bit more bearish on the banking sector, where you may see things like fee income go down because things like overdraft fees, credit card fees are going to be getting more scrutiny from the current administration.
So speaking of scrutiny, that brings us to your next point or challenge. M&A deals are also going to be closely watched or scrutinized.
By the way, Bitcoin just hit 51.5K, about to hit 51.6K. That's nice.
Exactly. So regulators have already kind of laid out.
Later today, I don't know if I have time, but later today I'll actually make a video about Bitcoin, about my position in Bitcoin that I started, and I was telling you guys that it was the easiest 2x position of my life. I will actually make a video about this one, the same position and how much I built it. The next couple of days, basically.
That they're concerned about antitrust issues. So you're going to see this with tech companies that are looking to merge. You may see this even with like larger financial institutions that are looking to merge. Now, the big banks are already kind of barred from doing acquisitions of other banks, but some of those larger regional players may have a tougher time getting deals through. Even if the deals go through, you're going to be looking at a longer time frame for that to happen. And again, that rising rate environment does not make it look that cheap to finance some of those deals going through.
And finally, a challenging course for IPOs. Why and will the boom continue into 2022?
Yeah, so looking at what we saw in 2021, tons of companies went public. We're seeing record levels of IPOs, a lot of SPAC deals, all that. I don't know that you're going to see that continue at that same pace in 2022. One thing to note is, about 40% of some of these new IPO companies are trading below their IPO price. So, that's going to make some companies hesitate before going public. We do have a lot of companies that are still talking about going public in 2022, but that rapid clip that we saw in 2021 does not look quite as likely.
So there could be more institutional investor scrutiny, which might provide some deals for the retail traders.
Let's go back to the stocks for a bit. Let's go back to see what's going on. We see Russell kind of taking a hit today. Somehow, some way, small cap stocks are opening lower. That's interesting. 0.6% down for SoFi right now. I didn't expect that. So we still see weakness on smaller cap stocks. I think that's interesting. Well, we see Robinhood, more than 1% down. It's actually down 2.3% right now, 2.5%. I might actually grab some Robinhood at $18. I like that. I would love that. I want to buy SoFi. I told you, definitely go watch the other video that I made about the small cap stocks, the 3 small cap stocks. Just go check my channel after we finish with this live stream. And 3 of the stocks that I swing traded was Robinhood, SoFi, and Honest. I actually closed my positions positive on SoFi and Honest. I took some profits, so that was good. But one thing that I told you guys there is that I want to reopen my positions. I want to reopen my positions on SoFi and Honest. I can't buy Honest above $8 when I have bought it and sold it. When I have bought it at $7.40 or $7.50 and $7.60, I wanted to drop below $8 again to buy it. So yeah, that's kind of weird from me, but actually I want that, so that's what I'm going to do. SoFi, on the other hand, at $14.94, 14 basically a little bit below $15. That starts becoming interesting, but I would love SoFi to drop back to $14.50 again. What pushed this stock higher actually is just new price targets from some companies, from some banks, I think Morgan Stanley said that it will hit $21, so that's the price target for SoFi, and that pushed the stock higher for a while, but that has a very short shelf life, so that's one thing that impacts the stock on maybe for some days or for some weeks, but after that it will drop again back down. So I expect that to drop back down again to reopen my position on SoFi because I actually like this company. But besides that, we see that weakness on small cap stocks today. Smile Direct Club is up 1.5%. On the other hand, Palantir is 0.6% up. Planet 2% down. Corsair Gaming, it's actually higher from its lows. It had a low of 2010. In case you didn't notice, it went as low as $20.10 actually, and now it's actually a lot higher than that, like 10% and even higher, like 10 to 15% higher. Interesting for Corsair. A very de-risked stock, a very undervalued stock. It dropped a lot below 2 billion market cap. Anyway, we have Skills on the other hand, a very speculative stock, not that de-risked, actually a very risky stock to hold. But yeah, I really hope that this weakness keeps on going for the rest of the day for small cap stocks, so I can maybe grab some. Besides that, we have here Tesla at $1,085 per share, Etsy 228, a small retrace from the stocks. From Etsy is a mid cap stock, like Affirm, a mid cap stock as well. Visa is actually a big cap stock. It opened higher, it opened at 218, right now it's lower. Okay. So we see a small move back, Let's see how this plays out during the day. Alphabet is back at where it opened, almost at where it opened, 0.7% up for the day. $337 for Microsoft, $192 for PayPal. Okay, Amazon, $3,440. Costco, I expect Costco to still drop and correct a bit because of how overvalued it is. Its PE right now is like 50 or something, which is insane. Besides that, let's go to coin. Maybe let's go back to keep watching those videos that we were seeing.
Who in the past have struggled to buy anywhere near the opening price.
Exactly. So companies are really going to have to lay out their path to profitability if they're not already profitable.
And very quick, actually, one thing to keep in mind, my plan for this week is actually lay low. I have some cash on my, for example, trading 212 account to buy the dip if it happens. I don't think we will see a dip on the last days of the year. But I have some cash ready there in case. I actually want to increase my position on Google, even though I have a good position there. I like Google stock. Even as a cash park, if I don't invest in it for a high return, it's actually a good stock to just park your cash instead of just holding it and having your cash getting inflated away from inflation, which is high in every country. So one stock on my mind is definitely Google. Other stocks on my mind are SoFi and Honest. Those two small cap stocks I like and I would like to have a position built in them. Let me check real quick on my iPad here. I actually buy an DCA to Bitcoin every day. I don't buy Ethereum because I already have a big position on Ethereum. Let me know if you want me to make actually a video on my crypto portfolio. Let me know that. Nasdaq, on the other hand, 0.6% up here. Let's see, we have Google here, Nvidia. I DCA into a semiconductor ETF that I have. That includes Nvidia, Intel, all those AMD, all the stocks that I like. Instead of buying them one by one and taking the risk, I actually invest in the ETF and have them do it for me. Besides that, actually let me adjust my chair here. Besides that, Alibaba 121. No, I would buy Alibaba at 110 again, maybe. At 121, no. Facebook, Meta, not a big fan. No, only for some swing trades if it happens, but yeah, now not a big fan. Tencent, I like Tencent, but let's check on Tencent. Let's check where Tencent is. Where is it? Here, Tencent. Let me put on the candlestick chart. So the lines that I drew the other time for Tencent were one around here at $66 and one at a low of 53.5. Why doesn't it? What's going on? At 50. Come on. Somehow it can't stick. We see it go as low as, oh no, I think I drew it here, yeah. So it actually hit this bottom line that I had drew the other time too before I cleaned this at $55. That's interesting for Tencent. And $55 is very interesting, but it's still a high cap stock, so a very big cap stock. So how bigger can it get and how quickly? Anyway, that's for Tencent. What else do we have here? We have MicroStrategy. I DCA into MicroStrategy because of Bitcoin. The bullish thesis behind MicroStrategy, behind buying MicroStrategy, is actually they own right now in total like 122,000 Bitcoins. The Bitcoins that they can use are 110,000. That's one thing to keep in mind. And the other thing is that they're currently looking actively for ways in order to maybe create a yield from that Bitcoin instead of just holding it. They are looking to find a not so risky way to create yield for their shareholders. That will be interesting to see what happens there. Anyway, we have Meta here. Actually, let's move on with my iPad. I'll tell you. Etsy, I like Etsy, but at below 200 at best. At 205, okay, 210, okay, but I don't think it will drop again there now. We still have small cap stocks dropping. That's nice. I see Robinhood dropping here, SoFi dropping, Honest dropping. That's nice. I want that to keep on going. Skills is actually down 3% for the day. Pepsi is up 0.4%, Starbucks 0.8%, Mondelez 0.2%. Okay. Those are the stocks on my mind right now. Google mainly, SoFi and Honest Company. Let me show you again. Google, of course, Alphabet, its parent company, and the other ones are SoFi and Honest Company. Those are the ones that have potential for actually for 2022 in general, I believe. Besides that, let's go to CoinDesk a bit. Actually, let's go back to these videos.
Really going to have to sell their case to this new crop of buyers next year. So for retail investors, there may actually be some deals for them to tap into.
And just quickly, Carlton, what companies are on your IPO radar for 2022?
Well, we got
more and more. And I love this company. If it's not that overvalued when it comes out, it will be an interesting stock to maybe DCA into, right? Not buy a lot, but just DCA into. Chobani Yogurt, that's a food company. Discord, we all know Discord. Let's see what it says.
At the end of this year, so that will be into next year. But we're also looking at companies like Chobani, Chime, which is a digital bank, and then Instacart, the grocery delivery company
that many have used over the past few years. Carlton.
What is that video? The 2022 market drivers. That's I actually like those videos. I didn't know Barron's made.
Especially on the heels of.
I kind of have missed them. Potential New Year pitfalls. I'll watch this video actually alone because we already watched some. Let's see what Cardano founder says. If he says anything, because he talks a lot sometimes without saying anything. He says, my goal for the second half of 2022 is to figure out how to put all the pieces together to get an end-to-end microfinance transaction on Cardano. The Cardano founder said a structure that oversees the creation of decentralized products on the network will be introduced. A formal open source project structure is going to be formed, kind of like Hyperledger to Linux. People have previously complained that Cardano hasn't met its stated goal of being completely decentralized. IOG in 2020 published a paper explaining how it would decentralize its block production, a goal that was reached in April 2021. The network turned fully community governed and operating in April this year, while September saw the public launch of smart contracts on Cardano, opening up the network capability. Let me check real quick if the live is working. It's working here, and it's working here. That's nice. Let's move on. The network turned fully community governed and operated in April this year, while September saw the public launch of smart contracts on Cardano, opening up the network's capability to support decentralized finance applications. Okay, DeFi protocols rely on smart contracts instead of third parties to provide financial services such as lending, borrowing, and trading. Okay, public DeFi applications aren't absent on Cardano in December 2021, but that's not deterring Hoskisson from visualizing widespread activity on the network in 2022. A real person in Kenya or somewhere with a blockchain-based identity and credit score stablecoin. On the other side, Cardano is a settlement rail. Cardano improvement proposals. Let's see. Developers are also working on Cardano improvement proposals. Actually, Ethereum improvement proposal sounds a lot better than Cardano improvement proposal. Anyway, though, a set of community governed network enhancements that are slated to go live in 2022. Hoskins said some of these include human readable information for assets issued on Cardano and a native web wallet for interacting with DeFi protocols. Hoskinson said a recent testnet rollout would improve the network. Peer-to-peer is currently being tested with the stake pool operators on the testnet. Okay, the peer-to-peer framework started getting a little technical here, but stay with me. The peer-to-peer framework aims to make the network more decentralized, with 11 operators initially serving as test subjects on a semi-public testnet. Okay, a testnet is a blockchain that runs on the same software as mainnets. We're kind of running out of time though, allowing developers to test out futures applications before they go live in the real world. When testing is complete, network validators would be able to communicate directly with each other to process block data instead of relying partly on nodes to set up an IOG, a process the development firm says could help aid in creating a more decentralized network. We have kicked off an important new initiative to support our ongoing drive toward full decentralization with the launch of a new peer-to-peer testnet. Whatever he says, I hope he makes it happen. I'm invested in Cardano, but yeah, not my biggest position, not my favorite position, but it's actually one crypto that I believe can appreciate throughout time, even though it has many naysayers. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed this live. I'm actually amazed that we made it happen using just my phone and my mobile data because my Wi-Fi wasn't good enough. Hope you stood around. I told you what I have on my mind today. SoFi, Google, and